looks like the NBA is, they're going to have a vote pretty soon.
Yeah.
But looks like they will be expanding, and it's kind of the rumors that we've heard, possibly expanding to Seattle and Las Vegas. Those have kind of been the rumored destinations for a long time. Now, Eric, there's something I think I've told you a long time ago, and there's a guy in this league who's given his all to the NBA. And I don't know if you remember, but every time they've ever played in preseason in Las Vegas, the Lakers have been out there. What does LeBron James say about Las Vegas having an NBA team? He doesn't just say it would be a good idea. He says, I want to be the owner.
He's made it known. Yeah.
So I pose this question to you, Eric. If they do announce that the NBA will move to Las Vegas or have a brand new expansion team, will LeBron James be the owner?
Ooh, I see him definitely making a running, and I know when I say he, they're like 8 agents, owners these days. I mean, LeBron is obviously he's a billionaire, right? Or a billion, and he's made so much money from playing basketball, endorsements. But typically, like your owners that are these like new age owners, I mean, they come with like deep pockets. So that's one interesting aspect. Obviously, we know like the Lakers were purchased for what, 10 billion, I think is what it was. And so I see LeBron being potentially part of a team, maybe with obviously Rich Paul, maybe some other kind of like other folks that are going to bring the cheese, and him being kind of the figurehead, kind of like Tom Brady with the Raiders, maybe a little bit more with him. So that's the one thing I see him wanting to. I see him being part of a team. I see the NBA wanting LeBron in the league, kind of a la Michael Jordan, obviously. But it would take a team effort, I believe, if you will. But it is, I take it you probably think it's most likely going to happen. I know you sent a couple of tweets out today.
They're going to figure out a way. The Adam Silver is going to figure out a way to have them. I know the one thing that throws it off is, like you said, the money thing is that they're estimating the value being at about $7 billion to $10 billion to kind of start.
Nice. Yeah,
and LeBron's worth a lot, but he obviously would have to liquefy a lot of that kind of asset there. I know he's been with the Fenway Group and been part owner of all that type of stuff, especially with the soccer team in Europe. So I think it would be some combination of like LeBron leading a group and being the head guy. I don't think minority. Like I mean, it could be if he obviously can't afford it, he can't afford it, right? But I feel like there'll be some sort of way to make him the majority owner in some sort of fashion, right? And I think what's going to happen is that LeBron's at least going to play one more year, right? So you're looking at he's playing the 26-27 season, and then you're looking like, all right, say he retires that season, so he has a swan song with that. And then you got that one season, which is like 27-28, which will be the prep for the actual real season, which will be 28-29. So I think it just makes sense because it'd be like retirement straight into ownership. He has a whole year to start building up the foundation of that team. And then it's boom, LeBron is back in the league as an owner. I just see it fitting. I could be wrong, but from what he's been saying, he's going to give his all to be an owner in this league.
Yeah, it's definitely out there. He said it. It's been talked about that he is going to make a run for it, at least, whether if it's a Seattle or Vegas franchise. And most likely it'll probably be Vegas. I see Seattle being more maybe somebody Seattle-based, kind of owning that team, which that's been long overdue. That's been kind of rumored for a long time. But I got to say something. I mean, isn't it pretty damn remarkable about Las Vegas? I mean, let's go back like 20 years.
10 years.
10 years. Yeah. I mean, so the Las Vegas Golden Knights, which is the hockey team, they came in 2017. Let's say 10 years, but I'm going back to like the All-Star game when it was in Vegas, all the crap that went on. Yeah. I mean, I don't think we would have ever thought there would be a professional team there, let alone every major sport, including also the WNBA, having a team in Vegas.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not just the craziness of Vegas, but it's obviously the elephant in the room, the gambling, I think is what was like, it could never happen. But now gambling, I mean, geez, I was watching the game today and they're like doing updates on what the line is like midway through the second. So obviously that stuff is thrown out the window. But what are your thoughts of in the last 15, 20, 10 years, whatever you want to call it, that it's unbelievable? Like obviously Vegas is a great place and people love to go see it. But imagine every single damn the 4 big sports are going to have a team there.
Yeah, we were at that All-Star game, what, 20 years ago?
Was it 06 or something? Like
I feel like it was 06 or 07, around there.
I'll look it up while you're.
And I remember thinking, I think we even said it to each other, ain't no way they're going to have an NBA team here because it is just too much. Like that was the most crazy experience. It was just like people were everywhere. We had so much fun, but at the same
it was a good time.
It was just like debauchery, right? And you were like, there's no way there can be a professional team here. And all of a sudden now you got a football, you got baseball, you got the WNBA, you got hockey. You're going to have the NBA. You're going to have all 4 major pro sports in Las Vegas within 10 to 12 year time span, which is just crazy to think about. There was a time to buy in Vegas and we all missed that opportunity, but I'm sure some people did because that was the time to buy about 10 years ago or even a little bit before that.
Yeah. No, I know. I mean, Vegas is technically not a huge kind of like market, but it is at the same time because it's obviously a place that a lot of people vacation or travel to. There wouldn't be teams there if that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously with the A's moving over there soon, we know that the Raiders and the Golden Knights, as I said, and the Aces there, they've obviously been, it's obviously worked out there for those teams. And so, I expect, I know they have to vote on it, but I expect for it to go through. And so in a few years, so we haven't had expansion in quite a while. I think since the Grizzlies and the Raptors, right? I believe so, or I think so, right? Yeah, Vancouver Grizzlies and Toronto Raptors.
It'd be cool to see how they do that because I think it's like each team can claim up to 8 players, right? And the rest go on basically left to be picked from either team. And then also those new franchises will get a high draft pick usually. They set them up that way. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see like, all right, who's your team going to actually claim under this thing and who gets picked and all this stuff. And it's kind of like, I feel like when it happened before there wasn't social media, right? So now it's like, you're going to hear so much more about the expansion process than you would ever really think about, right? So I think that's a cool process. Also think Vegas, it just works, man. Like I went to a Raiders game. It was December. They were terrible. They were playing the Jags at the time. This was not this season, but the past season. And I literally bought the tickets to like a day before. And I was like, yeah, I want to go to a game. It was perfect. You're walking over to the stadium. It's easy to get in, easy to get out. I'm sure they'll make the same way for the NBA stadium, wherever this can be. I mean, obviously they can start at the T-Mobile Arena and then maybe they'll build their own one somewhere else as well. And then you're going to have the A's there too. So like pretty much all year you can go to any game you want to. And I think that's what makes it work because you'll have your local fans, like the way the Golden Knights are like one of the best fan bases in hockey. You'll have that, but you'll also have a percentage of those tickets just going to people, whoever wants to show up, right? Which is going to be cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be successful. You're gonna have your obviously diehards, like you said, and then you're gonna have from people like all over the world just visiting as they do all the time, and they're gonna be able to go to walk and go to a ball game and go to a basketball game, and so there's a reason why they're positioned to lead to be one of the expansion teams, but also to kind of go back to your point where like hockey is a little different. So the Golden Knights, they went to the Stanley Cup Finals their first year. something like that is not almost guarantee is not going to happen in the NBA. It's going to be rough the first few years for both teams. It's just the way it is. Obviously, if teams are keeping their 8 best players, you're getting the rest of the players. You're going to have a couple draft picks.
Yeah, you're not winning with Dalton Connect and stuff like that when you're like picking them up, right? Yeah. So it's gonna be a little process, right?
Yes. But it's the honeymoon stage, right?
The question I have is like, how does it work with free agency? Is it like anybody can sign there? I know I did read that their salary cap will be different in the beginning. Like it'll go like in a tier fashion till it gets up to 100%. But it was like, what if you're like, hey, LeBron owns the Vegas team. I want to go play in Vegas, right? I want to sign with them right away. So it'd be interesting to see that process because I don't remember that when it came around last time.
Yeah, no, definitely. I don't either. Obviously, it was like 30 years ago with the expansion, and then before that, it was like Minnesota and Miami, which is like late 80s. So for us at least, or Orlando and I forgot who it was, or Charlotte. No, well, actually, was Charlotte an expansion team? Hornet? No, Bobcats. No, Charlotte.
They relocated, right? So then they had to redo the whole franchise. So I think they had to be. Charlotte, the Charlotte Hornets moved to New Orleans, and then it became But then the Charlotte Bobcats, they had to have sorry, I'm just kind of thinking. They probably. It was different. They became an expansion team, but or is it more of like because they?
Yeah, they were. So the Charlotte Bobcats were an expansion team in the 04-05 season. So actually, technically, that's the last.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting. Right. Expansion team, and then obviously, Thunder don't count as expansion because they moved from Seattle.
Yeah, they relocated.
So, but yeah, sorry, just kind of thought about it. So yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah, good point. I'm not too sure. We'll have to hear about kind of what happens with free agents and all that. I know we haven't talked much about Seattle, but one could assume they will be the Seattle Supersonics, right?
I mean, they better not mess that up.
Right?
They better not mess up. You got to be the Supersonics. You have to keep the Sonics name. You got to bring back the same jerseys, same color.
Yeah, I want the same jerseys.
Essentially, just got to look like Seattle. The same thing all over again.
The floor. I want the floor looking the same.
Because that team should have never moved, right? But you obviously had an owner that came in and already knew it was going to move to OKC. But it's going to be interesting to see. I like to have Seattle back. I think that's perfect for the Northwest, and that will give Seattle. They'll have 4 major sports back again, right? Because they have the hockey team now, obviously the NFL, and then the MLB, and then they'll have a basketball team. So that's a perfect market to have it. And then the interesting thing will be, what will be the Las Vegas team name?
The Aces are so nice. I like that name.
Would have been nice. Obviously, that's WNBA. Can't take that. You can't take the Kings because the Sacramento Kings, but that would be perfect with LeBron. It would be the Kings. And then what are you going to go with the Jacks, right? Or you can go with the Jokers, Las Vegas Jokers, or
play on gambling, right? Cards and. What's like, not obviously nothing to do with slot machines, but something.
Las Vegas Sinners, right? Sin City. I don't know. You can come up with a lot of them, right? So it'll be interesting to see what that looks like and how everything moves forward.
Oh yeah. It'll be cool to finally get the officialness of it, and it's been talked about for so long. And another thing too is that they're obviously going to be in the West. Those 2 teams. And so a team from the West Coast is going to have to move to the East. And so I imagine some teams will be lobbying for that.
Minnesota.
Yeah. Minnesota, and I guess it's like Minnesota, Memphis, and New Orleans, right? Those are
all 3 of those teams one of them can go because, that makes more sense for them to be on the East Coast.